Our assembly on Monday, the 27th of September. I'm Mrs Singleton, one of the assistant head teachers here at Meridian High School, and today we are going to be looking at our core values of challenge and achieve. So, just a little bit of feedback based on last week's Will Climate Change Affect Children's Rights? Okay, you're probably wondering where the results of the votes for COP26 are. Well, actually, we've got a bit of a unique situation at the moment. The vote is still technically open until Friday, the 1st of October. So, this gives you an opportunity, if you haven't had your say or voiced your opinion, now is the time to do so. Votes to School is a really important tool for us as students because it does allow us to make our voices heard. So you can do this as a class with your class teacher. So please make sure that you fill out the survey. You can also do that at home with a parent or a carer if you wish. So although we don't have the results just yet, this is what we've found out so far. Okay. So lots and lots of associations have been part of the idea and the drive towards climate change and how it will not only affect children's lives within the future, but actually what does that mean and what does that look like? All of these companies are pushing towards reducing climate change and keeping global temperatures as low as they possibly can. So being part of one of these organisations can be really, really interesting, but it also enables people to have their say. Now, what's been in the news this week? We've got a gas shortage that's hitting the UK. At the moment, there's currently not enough gas in the UK, and this is affecting how much we're paying for energy bills and the food available. Now, obviously, the more limited a resource is, the more money energy companies are going to charge. So that's an important thing for us to really delve into. We've also got Marcus in the media, so any students that across the country that have been studying media studies will explore Marcus Rashford as a role model and influencer. So what they're going to be looking at is how he's used his own personal platform and his platform as a professional football player, not only for Manchester United, but also for England, to really inspire and gauge traction with the things that he finds important. We've also had history being made at the Emmys. So Michaela Cole, a British writer, actor and director, has made history in the 2021 Emmys as the first Black woman to win the award for an outstanding writing for a limited series. And we've also got the idea of heads together and mind. Now, there are lots and lots of footballers that are involved with positive mental health. And a football match will take place later this month where players can only head the ball in specific circumstances. And that's to try and raise awareness and share the concerns about its links with dementia. So that's what's been in the news this week. So what I want you to think about throughout this week and when you visit Votes for Schools with your tutors is what is the end child food poverty #RightNow campaign. So what do you already know about this? So free school meals. Free school meals are just what they sound like. They are meals that children get given at school for free. However, who receives free school meals varies a lot depending on where you live within the UK. In Scotland, very, very soon, there will be free school meals for all primary children. In England, all children up to the age of year 3 receive a free school meal, and this is known as universal infant-free school meals. In Wales, there are no universal infant-free school meals, but there are free breakfast clubs, so children are entitled to a free breakfast. And in Northern Ireland, there are no universal infant-free school meals at all. Now, I would say not even over the last few months, but actually over the last couple of years, there's been a lot of public spotlight on free school meals, and this has been because of a multitude of things, particularly through the global pandemic. But a lot of it, and a lot of its profile being raised, has been down to one particular person. Okay, and this is Marcus Rashford. Okay, now Marcus Rashford has recently gained an MBE. Okay, and he is a footballer who plays for Manchester United and England. Now his MBE was awarded in honour given to somebody by the Queen for a particular achievement, and it stands for a member of the Order of the British Empire. And he gained this in 2020 due to his efforts in raising the profile and feeding children, particularly that found it quite difficult. Now, we are going to be exploring Marcus Rashford and his contribution to society over the next few form times. Okay, so you'll be able to hear a little bit more about his connection to free school meals. Okay, but how much do you already know? Now, the next couple of slides, you're going to see some ways that Marcus Rashford has helped to bring attention to the problem of children in the UK going hungry. Okay, as you read this and as we go through this, have you heard these facts before? If so, where have you heard them? So in June 2020, Marcus asked the UK government to continue to give children and families food vouchers during the summer holidays. His campaign was successful and the government changed its mind. The Child Food Poverty Task Force was set up by Marcus. This is a group of charities and food businesses like Nestle, Greggs, Lidl that work together to ask the government to listen to their suggestions about food for children and their families in September 2020. In October 2020, a petition to end child food poverty was launched by Marcus, which went all the way to Parliament. It was signed by more than 1.1 million people within the UK itself. In December 2020, once again, Marcus inspired the Prime Minister to change his views on providing free school meals, this time during the Christmas break. Boris Johnson even phoned Marcus personally to give him the good news. In April 2021, this was another really busy month for Marcus. Not only did he launch a book club which was supported by the food charity Magic Breakfast, but he also teamed up with Tom Kerridge to start a new cooking scheme called Full Time. In September 2021, Marcus wrote an article called "Why Don't I Stick to Football?" In it, he claimed he wants to use his platform to speak on behalf of the millions of whose voices are not being heard, and said what needs to happen to end food poverty. This week, we've been really fortunate to work with the Food Foundation on our vote topic about free school meals. They've just launched a new campaign with Marcus Rashford called Right Now. They want us to tell our MPs to take urgent action to end child poverty and would like the government to promise to spend more money on feeding children around the UK. If enough of us show that we care about this issue, then positive action might take place. So what's it all about? Okay.
Now more than ever, it's important that our voices are heard. Real change can only happen when we work together, and families need support now. Follow the link to write to your local MPs and pledge your support for these families. A big thank you from me.
So the idea is we want you to try and get involved with the Right Now campaign. Okay. Now, when the campaign launched, Rashford said, I'll be writing to my MP about it, and I would encourage you to all do the same. It will take many of us to stand together on this and show that we care about reaching the most in need in our communities. So, do you want to play a part in making sure the MPs hear your views? Get involved. The idea here is go to the website endchildfoodpoverty.org to see the pre-written letter that you can send to your MP. So why not send yours next time you're at a computer or on a device where you can do so? Now, the challenge here is, who else could you tell about the Right Now campaign? So pause the video here, have a little think about what you can do. How can you, in your platform, in your capacity, raise the profile of the Right Now campaign? So it's really important that you make sure that your voice is heard on this topic. I want you to voice your opinions during the form time sessions, cast your vote at the end of the session, and let us know of any future topics you would like to see. Okay, so we're going to head over to the next slide and find out the topic you'll be discussing this week. So what I want you to do in your form time activities this week is, should children get free school meals? Okay, so you'll be discussing giving free school meals to more children, maybe may cost a lot more money and might be difficult in the logistics of giving them those. Children might feel embarrassed about getting free school meals. Do we need a different solution? Children should receive free school meals until we solve the problem of food poverty, and no child should go hungry. Anyone who needs a free school meal should get one. So we want you to discuss these ideas as the week progresses. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a good week. I'm looking forward to seeing lots of those letters going to our local MP. Have a fantastic week ahead.